Most people think the best way to deal with a narcissist is to fight back or explain yourself. But here's the truth that will change everything. Narcissists don't fear your anger. They feed on it. The one thing that absolutely terrifies them, when you stop reacting altogether, that silence you give them doesn't just frustrate them. It dismantles their entire world. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your calm presence becomes their greatest nightmare. Let me tell you what really happens when you ignore a narcissist. You're not just withholding words, you're cutting off their oxygen supply. See, narcissists survive on something psychologists call narcissistic supply. It's any reaction that validates their sense of control over you. Love, anger, frustration, tears, explanations. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. To them, it's all fuel for their ego. But when you give them nothing, when you look through them like they're invisible, that's when their entire system starts to collapse. Because suddenly, they can't measure their power over you. Their manipulation tactics fall flat. Their guilt trips bounce off you like rain off a windshield. And for the first time, maybe ever, they're forced to face the mirror of their own behavior without your emotional chaos to distract from it. Think about the last time you didn't react to their subtle jab. Remember when you resisted that guilt trip that usually worked? Instead of getting the reaction they expected, what happened? They looked unsettled, maybe even desperate. They probably tried harder, got louder, or suddenly switched to being overly nice. That's panic. That's what it looks like when a narcissist realizes they're losing control. Here's what most people don't understand. Indifference feels louder than anger to a narcissist. When you scream at them, when you cry, when you try to defend yourself, you're telling them they still matter. You're confirming that they have the power to affect you. But silence tells them they've become irrelevant. And there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that terrifies a narcissist more than being irrelevant. But here's where it gets really interesting. When you stop reacting, something magical happens. Other people start to notice. Without your emotional chaos as a distraction, without you taking the bait, and looking crazy or overreactive, everyone else in the room gets a clear view of the narcissist's behavior. Their mask starts to slip. Their theatrics become obvious. Their manipulation becomes transparent. So what should you be watching for? Every time you step back and refuse to engage, you'll see the narcissist scramble through their playbook. First comes the escalation. They'll try to push harder to get that reaction. Then comes the recycled manipulation. Suddenly they're love-bombing you, or playing victim, or bringing up old grievances. These aren't random behaviors. They're desperate attempts to pull you back into their game. Maybe they'll start with subtle provocations, then move to guilt trips about how you're ignoring them or being cold. When that doesn't work, watch for the rage, the accusations, the attempts to involve other people. Did you see how they treated me? They might even pretend to be hurt or confused by your sudden change in behavior. Here's the key. Recognizing these tactics for what they are, desperate attempts to regain control, helps you stay steady. The more consistent you are with your non-reaction, the more powerless they become. They lose their ability to predict you, to control you, to feed off you. Now, I want to be clear about something. This isn't about playing games or being manipulative yourself. This is about protecting your mental health, setting healthy boundaries, and breaking free from toxic cycles that have probably been destroying your peace for years. Your silence isn't passive, it's powerful. Your indifference isn't cruel, it's self-preservation. And here's the beautiful part that most people miss. When you stop reacting to a narcissist, you're not just protecting yourself. You're modeling healthy behavior for everyone around you. You're showing others that it's okay to not engage with toxic behavior. You're demonstrating that you don't have to defend your reality to people who refuse to see it. But why do narcissists hate your non-reaction more than anything else? Because it exposes the truth they've spent their entire life trying to hide. That they're not special. They're not the center of the universe. You can't control everyone around them. Your silence forces them to confront the emptiness inside themselves that they've been filling with other people's reactions. When you refuse to react, you're essentially holding up a mirror and showing them exactly who they are without the drama, without the chaos, without the emotional supply they're addicted to. And what they see terrifies them. An empty person throwing a tantrum that no one cares about anymore. If this resonates with you, I want you to know something. You're not being mean. You're not being petty. You're being smart. You're protecting your energy, your peace, and your mental health. And that's not just your right. It's your responsibility to yourself. The narcissist in your life might tell you that you're being cold, that you've changed, that you're cruel for not engaging. Don't believe them. You haven't become cold. You've become wise. You haven't changed. You've grown. And you're not being cruel. You're being healthy. Your decision to stop reacting isn't about punishing them. It's about freeing yourself. It's about taking back the power they've been stealing from you, one reaction at a time. It's about choosing peace over chaos, clarity over confusion, and your well-being over their entertainment. So the next time they try to bait you, remember this. Your silence is not empty space. It's full of your power returning to you. Your non-reaction isn't nothing. It's everything. And their hatred of your calm? That's just confirmation that you're doing exactly what you need to do to heal. If this video helped you understand the psychology behind narcissistic behavior and gave you tools to reclaim your power, hit that like button. Subscribe if you want more insights on dealing with emotional manipulation and building healthier relationships. And share this with someone who needs to hear that their silence is actually their strength. Remember, you can't control their behavior, but you can control your reaction to it. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is absolutely nothing at all.